America. Are you proud to be an American?
We're starting off strong, 100%. And there's reasons I'm extremely proud to be an American. When you look at technological advancements, capitalism, every facet of what we are as Americans. We came here, started in what you would have called the Wild Wild West, but at the premise of what America is, everybody had to create something new. Everybody was an entrepreneur in the beginning because there was nothing. We came in, settlers came in from the UK, came to Jamestown, and then we just started taking over land, just taking land, and we had to build communities and we had to build towns, and somebody had to come in and be the new barber and the new barkeeper and the sheriff. And so when you wanted a service, everybody typically had to be their own CEO to their own business. And I think America kept that that idea as they went further and further west. And so now you have this system of capitalism where we hold up our entrepreneurs and say, you guys are the building blocks.
But why are you proud to be an American today?
Lord, we're circling back.
Why are you proud to be an American today?
I mean, specifically from my point of view, from what I value as a person, I've been singing, shouting, chanting, all my friends know this, about the acceleration of technologies since I ran into Jason Silva, Ray Kurzweil, Neil deGrasse Tyson, and other technologists in 2012 at North Carolina A&T. And I've been talking about AI, how it was going to evolve to AGI, how medicine was going to change, and all these things. And so you ask me why currently I'm proud to be an American. It's because we are currently leading in almost all of these fields. And so those things that I talked about, those predictions that Ray Kurzweil have, I get to see them up close, personal, up front. The research is being done here in the country. We have the best frontier models in the world in this country. And we're not as heavily regulated as Europe. We don't have a controlled state like China. Like, there's a freedom to create in this country and build and develop. And
so it sounds like the most important thing for you in an election is the rate of change and technological progress in the society.
Yeah, like ultimately, and if I'm going to be real honest with you, I'm a transhumanist. Like,
Explain that.
That's my political party.
What is transhumanism?
Transhumanism is this ideology or this political idea that we elect people who are going to sponsor policies and help. What's the word? Because they're doing it, advocate for policies and technologies that get us to a point where we can enhance human cognition, psychology, physicality, biology, like every aspect of the human condition through technology.
In layman's terms.
So, layman's terms. Using technology in order to enhance humans. That is a transhumanist. Like, ultimately, if you want to sum it up, using technology, advancing technology, and every facet of technology, biology, nanotechnology, robotics, AI, to enhance the human condition, which includes our mental health, our physical health, our social health, all those aspects.
Why do you feel like America is the best place to be in order for that agenda to happen?
I think right now, America is the best place. So, like, even when we look back at the last administration, or we can go back to multiple administrations, and it's not a Democrat-Republican thing. It's honestly where they feel like the pulse of the country is, or where the lobbyists are pouring the most money. But like, if we look at the last administration, there was an attack on cryptocurrency. I can say that strongly. Like, there was an attack on cryptocurrency. Like, people were getting sued. Ripple was getting sued. Coinbase was getting sued. All these companies were getting sued. And yet the federal government did not want to put any laws in place that actually spelled out, okay, these are the rules for crypto. Instead of putting out these laws, we were just suing people.
Yeah.
That is, for me, that's anti-progress. Like, we have consumers in the country who are using this technology, and instead of the federal government saying, hey, let's create new laws that allow these consumers to be protected and the entrepreneurs who are creating these companies to succeed in the marketplace,
Yes.
they just want to sue everybody because the bank lobbies came in and said, hey, we don't like this new technology, this threatens us, so we're just going to go ahead and let's I hate this word. I hate all these political terms, but use lawfare in order to get them to remove our competition.
Yeah.
So like, I don't like that. So was I proud? I mean, I'm always proud to be an American, but was I happy with where we were going? No.
Yeah.
Currently, I see a large focus toward developing nuclear fusion. I see that we've I'm not going to say deregulated, but we're definitely pushing AI forward very quickly.
Yes.
And we're not trying to limit it.
Yes.
There's a lot of research being done in biotechnology. And even though a lot of funding was taken away from this new administration, where the funding was taken away from the federal government, you see more funding being pushed through private companies or angel investors or any type of investor, honestly. Anything connected to an information technology, you see money being funneled over there because AI is speeding up the level of growth and how quickly these things can advance, and people are seeing the business opportunities there. And so it's creating this wave where we are getting closer and closer to Ray Kurzweil's dream of the singularity.
But you have not yet explained to me why the United States.
Because you can't do that anywhere else on this planet. What we are doing here in America, you can't. We can look at what Europe's doing. They have crippling policies in Europe right now for AI and development, and they take so long to make decisions. By the time they make decisions, China, America, other countries will be so far ahead of them that their citizens will have to purchase services from outside of their country. China, like I said, a communist state, like the state controls where they decide to go with the technology. Here in America, we have the option to not just focus, like I say, the Eye of Sauron on AI, but we can focus on, if I want to build a biotechnology with AI, I can do that. If I want to focus on something that has nothing to do or is completely new or completely novel, nothing to do with the current mainstream, then I can do that. I have the ability to do that.
Is this? So I get you. I understand what you're saying. You're making a good case for being in America, and I don't necessarily know if it's to be proud of being an American, but there's definitely an advantage of being an American today.
Yes, advantage of being an American. Yeah.
I don't want to get political when I say this, but is this because of the genius of the current president of the United States, or what would you attribute this leadership and the development of this technology to?
I don't know if, okay, hold on. Yeah, you're right. We don't want to get political here. I'll be canceled in the moment this episode drops.
By both sides.
This, you can say it's due to the administration, but ultimately the president did do things. Similar to his last administration. Remember, when he started his last administration, the first thing he did was he brought every CEO in the country to the White House so they could talk about the challenges in America and how we could work together in order to change it. He created czars, and one of the most, at least in my opinion, one of the most interesting was the crypto and AI czar, which he named David Sachs. And David Sachs has been going gangbusters when it comes to making sure that there is the right amount of not oversight, but like we're paying attention to crypto. We're making laws for it. We passed the Genius Act. We're about to pass the Clarity Act. That AI has a fair shot, and not every state is trying to create its own regulation for it. That would destroy the AI companies, but the federal government creates a framework and says this is the rules that we have for the road for AI companies right now. Like that type of leadership, I think, is extremely important. Now you can have the other end of that where they don't pay any attention to it whatsoever. They don't pay any attention to AI development. They don't pay any attention to crypto. It's just like that. Uh, it's just like that thing that's going on, and and nobody really cares about it. And then all of a sudden, it becomes attacked because people are saying it's going to steal jobs, and there's nobody there to defend it. And then we end up falling behind other countries, and then we just end up in a bad place overall. Where America is typically the leaders, we would just we wouldn't lead. We would fall behind, and we would lose a lot of advancement. And we know what AI is going to do. It's going to supercharge all these economies.
Yeah. Supercharge the industry. But to that point, there's all this promise and prosperity.
Oh, yes.
We have an administration that seems to be doing the right things when it comes to technologies for corporations. And they say there's going to be this large economic unlock that's going to trickle down, so to speak, for everyone else. Is this going to bite us all in the ass?
No.
We ended our last conversation talking about the jobs that are going away and people not being able to find jobs. And we live in this promised land today where America is at the forefront of AI. China may be at the forefront of robotics, but America is at the forefront of AI. All this prosperity that's being built now, all the laws that are being passed, you say you don't feel as though this is going to bite us all in the ass.
No. I mean, listen, every technology can bite us in the ass. When we were trying to build rockets to go to the moon, you could use that technology to build a big bomb. Like, there's always something that somebody could say.
But we're talking about the replacement of livelihood.
And I said this
this technology.
Absolutely. And I said this in the last interview. Like, I applaud James Cameron, $2 billion on Terminator. He has us all thinking that Skynet's going to come and robots are going to kill us and we're not going to have jobs, things like that. You have to actually look at history and the trends that are going on. Currently, you are not replacing. You can shift jobs away from humans over to some level of automation. But what we're actually seeing is this co-piloting. To where every human is getting an AI agent to make them more efficient.
Yeah.
I don't think, and I'm going to be truthfully honest, I don't think we have anything to worry about when it comes to AI replacing jobs until 2030. Yeah. And why do I say until 2030? Because Ray Kurzweil, Elon Musk, Sam Altman, all these people are saying that by 2030, we will probably achieve some level of AGI. When the amount of calculations per second per $1,000 equals about 10 to the 16th 10 to the 16th calculation. So like, we are going to have a computer that costs $1,000 or less that can do the same amount of work as a human being. That's 2030.
Yeah.
From now to 2030, everybody's on Copilot. Like, you're going to have to use an AI in order to be more productive. And as humans are more productive, there's going to be more supply in the market.
Yeah.
More supply, more things going out. Everyone's going to be more productive. And because we're going to have more supply, demand is going to have to keep up. And if there's more supply than there is demand, that means prices are going to drop. Yeah. So right now, I look at things for the next 5 to 6 years as becoming more affordable, more breakthroughs. Companies aren't going to fire more people. They're going to have more work to give more people because supply is going to go up.
Maybe on the back end, I don't understand how you can say that when we just watched Meta get rid of 1,500 people in Reality Labs, just completely wiped.
But they're moving their resources from...
That's not what the news article was. It was that they fired 1,500 people, not that they transferred departments.
There's two different sides to that story. Yes, a lot of people were fired. A lot of people were laid off, but they moved a lot of those resources into AI. Like Meta Labs, they did get rid of...
Reality Labs.
Thank you, Reality Labs. They got rid of a lot of people. I forgot the number.
1,500.
But then you also see the news article where they took a lot of that money and a lot of that funding and pushed it into AI.
They took the funding and the money, but not the bodies.
Yeah, I mean, but those are different people who are probably trained in different things. Okay. So like, you have Meta Labs who probably have certain type of software engineers and graphic designers and things like that. So maybe they didn't have a place where the new money was being shifted. But even if these companies are laying people off, companies lay people off all the time.
In massive droves?
Yes, because there's a shift. There's a shift in the economy right now.
Yeah.
There's a shift.
Okay.
We went from focusing on crypto. No, I'm trying to remember which one was first. We went from focusing on crypto And then Facebook changed their name to Meta, and there was this big explosion in the metaverse, and people were trying to move engineers over to the metaverse because that was going to be the new thing. And now we're seeing a shift where people are getting laid off, and resources and talent are being moved over to AI. There's always, I keep calling it the IR Sauron, but there's always something that the market focuses on. And companies realize in order to keep up, because they don't want to be Blockbuster, they don't want to be Redbox, they don't want to be Kodak. So in order to keep up, I have to evolve, and I need to shift what our company is focused on and doing. And that means people are going to get laid off. But right now,
get laid off, and then what the biggest fear is that they're unable to be retrained to re-enter a new workforce.
This whole retraining argument also just doesn't make sense to me.
Okay.
Because we've been retraining humans for a very long time. I mean, I'll just give us a recent example. Like, people were doing spreadsheets. People were manually calculating things. They used to call humans a computer.
Yeah.
And then Microsoft dropped Excel. Yeah. And you had to learn, you had to be retrained on how to use Excel, how to write formulas, how to create spreadsheets that allowed a company to be more efficient, reduce the amount of errors in our whatever the business was, because the computer was doing the calculations automatically, and we didn't have to rely on maybe the errors or the error rate of humans. So like, they had to relearn how to use that specific skill.
Yes.
They had to relearn how to use Microsoft Office in general, PowerPoints, word processing, Excel sheets, Teams.
It became, if you think about it from the context of what the like new tool for corporations and enterprises, Microsoft Word was the AI of its time.
Yeah. Productivity suite.
In a sense, the productivity suite, in which you had to learn that skill set in order to.
And there were people who couldn't learn.
Yeah,
and they had to leave. Maybe they got fired. Maybe they left their job and they had to find a job somewhere else. Maybe it paid less.
Yeah,
because their value to the market was not the same.
Yeah,
and Jim Rohn, was it?
Jim Rohn,
who would always talk about that.
You're not paid based off your time. You're paid based off of the value that you bring into the market.
Absolutely. So like, this is something that happens throughout history. We see it all the time. The Luddites in the 1800s who got upset and started flipping or destroying things, they got jobs after that.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't see a mass unemployment where multiple people just started dying. They had to shift and get jobs other places.
So I think you lay out a very optimistic viewpoint of what could happen. Like, there's going to be some pain, but overall, people will be able to be retrained and stuff. If we move away, let's say, from the Eye of Sauron, looking at AI and its impact on work and being able to make a living, and we start looking at it from a medical standpoint, right? Mm-hmm. That can also be a dystopian future that we're looking at. The people that choose to use some of the advancements and innovations to extend their lifespan.
Absolutely.
And then those people that have morality, not morality, but moral issues or religious issues with the ability to extend one's lifespan. You'll see the haves and have-nots in a society.
I disagree with that.
Okay.
And I think, once again, we look at film and cinema and we say, hey, what's going to happen is I'm going to create a golden pill. You're going to take the golden pill, and then 50 years to your life just like that.
Yeah.
That's not how this is going to work. Every year, Ray Kurzweil says this also. What is he, a prophet? I feel like I'm in the religion of the singularity. But Ray Kurzweil says this also. Starting at some people are predicting it starting now, but starting at about 2028, humanity will hit what's called
escape velocity.
Longevity escape velocity. Yeah. So we will begin to add an additional year. First, it'll start with 6 months, and then we'll begin to add an additional year to our life for every life that we live. And as the technology continues to grow and get better, every year, then it'll go from adding a year to your life to adding 2 years to your life and 3 years. So we will gradually hit this point where we start eliminating the effects and symptoms of aging, and we'll be able to extend our lifespan. But no one's going to know that this has actually happened
because we'll be in it.
Because we'll be in it.
But the thing that I'm trying to I need to do a better job at articulating what I'm trying to call out is in the beginning of this conversation, you talked about your political party or your party being the transhumanist.
Yeah.
And you went on to describe the scenario where we use technology to make or to evolve humanity
Yes.
as in a particular aspect. If I am let's just say I'm a Christian man that's very conservative and, God gave me this body.
Yep.
And aside from the tattoos and the piercings that I have,
Yeah.
I'm not going to do anything that may be an abomination to my physical body.
Yeah.
Yet I have to compete in the same type of workforce with someone like you that's going to be the first in line to get a Neuralink, where you are completely tied into the computers, the machines that you work with, and you can work faster, you can work more efficiently. Like that to me is an example of how AI will expand our understanding of a certain industry like healthcare to a fault of those that are just like, I'm going to choose my virtues and morals of the body that I have over doing this augmentation to myself just so that I can make a living.
Yeah.
You see where you have to choose between the two?
But like, once again, we have to look at history. We have to look at different technologies in history that humanity has adopted. So like we talk about the Neuralink. I think one of the biggest fallacies that it's not a fallacy. I think one of the biggest misunderstandings that we have is that no one will elect to get a Neuralink or any type of computer brain interface.
Yeah, that is a fallacy.
I think by the time we get there, it will be non-invasive.
Yeah.
It'll be a simple procedure, and you'll get hooked up to the cloud. No different from people electing to put contacts in their eyes. We talk about not being augmented. You got contacts in your eyes. You have glasses that you wear. You keep this supercomputer by your side at all times of the day. People go and get steel and metal in their arms when they break their arms. Like these right now, it seems
these are external tools.
No, these are internal. The plates that we put in our body. Some people get we're going to talk about that, but some people get their bones broken to get them extended so they can be taller.
But I'm
the
talking
hair transplants.
When you talk about contacts, you talk about eyeglasses, you talk about smartphones, you're talking about external things.
Yeah.
We're talking about a invasive procedure that allows you to outcompete people that opt out of getting it.
I mean,
so it's just, well, if those people choose to opt out, is whatever.
I mean, if they opt out, once again, we talked about this before, there will be jobs for people who are not fit for a certain role. They'll have other jobs that are available to them. Gig service, some type of, I don't know, some people suggested that there'll be a job where people go and sense the world, like you take radars and detectors and you go get data.
Is that right?
Yes.
Where in history have we seen a moment in time where humanity had to make a decision of like making a irreversible choice to their body in order to continue to make a living? Like, where have we seen that in history?
Okay. In order to continue to make a living. I mean, and I'm going to go back, and to be honest, like I'm not going to act like I'm some historian, but I can imagine we had a similar situation with the invent of fire. I'm going to imagine we had a similar situation with the invent of language. Those who decided to understand language, those who decided to learn, and those who decided to kind of fall out and get away from the tribe.
Those things are not invasive. Those things are not.
But I think that's the misconception. We don't know how that procedure is going to happen. Mm-hmm. It could be you walking in a room, you sitting down. Hey, count to 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, procedure's done. There you go. And then you get on your smartphone and you can see you're connected. Like, we don't know. We like to assume that it's going to be some bloody brain surgery that you're going to be out for a week or two, that you'll even notice, that you'll have a scab back here with wires hanging out. Like, we don't know. And I can imagine, based on how chips are dropping in size, like we're making our chips smaller and smaller and adding different components. I can imagine that thing is going to be tiny. It's already tiny. And we already know robots are installing them into people better than humans could. Robots will probably be the best surgeons we have in the next 5 years. And so that's why I said it's going to be very, very minimal, a very, very minimal procedure.
Yeah.
Much like LASIK maybe. And I think at that point, when people see this isn't a big deal, oh my God, and I get these benefits, I'm curious how many people say, you know what? No, I don't want that. I think that's the lie. I think that's the lie. I think a lot of people, especially if it doesn't cost that much, I think, because once again, we're going to a place where we're going to have so much productivity and so much supply that the prices are going to drop for everything. But I don't agree with the idea that people are just going to say, I don't want that. There may be some, but once again, they're going to have to find a different type of work that matches the value that they can bring to society.
What does that, do you have any indication of what that looks like?
Well, the type of work?
Yeah.
I can't know. I mean, this is the definition of the singularity, isn't it? Like we had no idea.
That's a fair point.
We had no idea what type of jobs would exist in 1998. We could not imagine what type of jobs we would have in 2020.
Yeah.
And technology is evolving faster now than it did between 1990 and 2020.
Yeah.
And those 30 years. So for me to try to say that, oh, what will jobs look like in the next 10 years? Like, it's impossible for me to say. In 1990, I couldn't have told anybody that they would be a software engineer for Unity or Unreal. Like it just didn't make sense. Yeah. Like that I would be building AI tools to help with full self-driving and cars. Like those jobs didn't exist. You couldn't even think of it. Like it was sci-fi.
So based on, okay, we've discussed a lot. Based on where we are now in 2026, for what you can, for as far out as you can possibly see, what is your
2030?
what is the ideal future right now look like?
Listen, it depends. How do you want to look at this? That is what this comes down to. I can go through and do a rundown of every doom gloom scenario that we can have. If it bleeds, it leads. CNN will cover it. MSNBC will cover it. Fox News will cover it because it's going to destroy us and send us all back to Stone Ages. I could cover that, or I can tell you all the net positives. And I'd rather be the voice telling you the net positives with Peter Diamandis and Steven Pinkler and all these other voices that are telling you what AI will do. We will drop the cost of products, services, research will skyrocket. We'll have new advancements in biotechnology, nanotechnology, energy technology. The price of energy will drop drastically. Like all these amazing things will happen. The price of goods and services will drop while salaries continue to go up.
How do you make that correlation?
Of what? Because we just talked about supply and demand.
Yes,
and the amount of supply is going to go up, and demand is going to have to catch up to supply.
But
then we are also currently getting on a trend where salaries could stay effectively. They could stay the same, but even still, if prices are going down, if prices are going down, then everybody's richer.
So what do you?
We're going to do this
as a human being. You in 2030, what is your vision of what you should be able to do or what you should be as Homo sapien?
I mean, I don't think we should use me as an example. I think I'm an extreme. I genuinely think I'm an extreme.
I think people watching this show, hearing that, can be able to visualize what the potential scenarios could look like.
Okay. I would wager, especially as we get closer to a AI that has the same computational capacity as a human being, AGI, in whatever form you want to call it, AGI, with the research that we'll be able to do, and the breakthroughs that we will have, and physics and medicine. Currently, you have Google that has AlphaFold that does protein folding, being able to do simulations where we can see how medications react to certain proteins. We should effectively be able to cure most illnesses.
Okay.
I'm not going to say all. I'm going to say a lot.
Okay. Including aging.
including aging. But aging, like I said, that's going to be year over year improvements. But I mean, like viruses, what, God, what's the Michael J. Fox? I keep Parkinson's, HIV, like all the ones that are incurable, but people can live with today. Herpes, good example, yeah. Or HSV, because that's chickenpox.
HPV?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. HSV or HPV, but because that's chickenpox also.
Yeah, human papilloma.
So we'll be able to cure most of those easily, like
in 15 years.
Probably the next 8.
Okay.
Less than 10.
Continue with your vision.
The price of foods are going to drop drastically, especially meats. Right now in this country, we talk about how the price of meats are so high. I'm telling you, lab-grown meats are going to be one of the best wins for everyone. Mm-hmm. And it sounds nasty now. I'm sure it does sound nasty. Bananas should sound nasty too, because that's not the original form of bananas. Yeah. Like we have GMOs all over the place. But lab-grown meats, where you can modify the meat, how much fat it has, how much protein it has, it's going to drop. As we scale that up, it's going to drop the price of meats. Everybody will be able to afford whatever type of meat they want. And everybody will have access to it.
Can you talk more about the process of lab-grown meats? Because it does sound off-putting.
I mean,
to know that meats grown in laboratories.
What is a meat? They take a stem cell, they grow it in a culture.
Yeah.
And that the stem cell gets grown in a culture and it becomes the type of muscle that you're looking for, or that you're aiming to collect.
We're talking about a stem cell from the animal.
From the animal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So it can be from a chicken. And you put a stem cell in a culture, that stem cell grows into thigh muscle.
What's the difference between
without a bone?
What's the difference between having a chicken that is plump, full of steroids or whatever, and having a lot of meat versus having plump meat grown in a laboratory, but it has a leaner fat concentration, higher amount of
there is no difference.
Protein.
There is no difference. The only difference, and people are eating lab-grown meat now. Like there are people who are effectively eating lab-grown meat today. It's very expensive.
Yeah,
very expensive.
But you're saying there's no difference. So from injecting a chicken with steroids, and eating that meat versus lab-grown meat.
The lab-grown meat won't have steroids. Yeah. It's just the meat itself. And we can control the density of whatever micronutrients or nutrients that we'd like to put into that.
So is it, dare I say, a healthier alternative?
I don't know how this is debatable. I would say so. Genuinely, I would say so. Like, when you think of lab-grown meat, what do you think of?
I think of some pink fleshy thing in a petri dish in a laboratory.
But what is it?
Chicken.
But okay, so it's just chicken.
Yeah, it's chicken meat. That's what I think of.
Okay.
Do I want to eat it? I don't know.
Why not? Because it tastes nasty?
I would want to understand the process and the science.
Okay, we'll understand the process and the science.
It's like if a human, I don't want to get a disease from eating something that was
FDA, cultured. Yeah, but the FDA wouldn't approve that. They wouldn't approve that.
Okay, you give government agencies credit for being quick to.
Well, I don't know how quick of a process this will be. I'll just tell you where we are. The price of lab-grown meats has dropped. It used to be, $35, $50, $35 per pound. I think now it's down to $15 to $10 per pound as it continues to drop in price because we continue to develop the technology and make more of it. It's going to end up being cheaper to generate that stuff in a lab than raise herd on a field that you have to maintain, the energy cost, the transportation. There's a lot of factors with that. And then let's not even talk about the carbon emissions that we'll be saving by not having to farm those animals anymore. So there's different factors there that actually benefit us.
So you're saying your future so far in 15 years looks like we grow younger for every year we grow older. We eliminate the viruses and the most diseases that we're
prices go down. Yep. demonetized.
We're growing an endless supply of meat in laboratories that are
I say meat, but in most foods, vegetables, meats, most foods.
And everyone gets a chip in their head. Can opt in.
It'd probably be wise. I think a lot of people will have their kids do it at a young age, kind of like circumcision.
Oh man.
Yeah, just
are you chips?
Just get it out.
Just
get it out the way.
You get it out the way while you're young, while your skull is still soft.
Yeah,
that's
because for you. I mean, even if you're against it, you don't want to give your child an unfair advantage in the world. I mean, I said unfair. I mean disadvantage in the world. Yes. Absolutely. So something to think about. And what is it going to do? Increase their bandwidth? Give them, I mean, what does that chip do? Give them access to the cloud, give them access to their own AGI that they can talk to. They're in the, what is it called? The I don't want to call it Legion, hive mind. They're in the hive mind. Yeah. And then on top of that, I just said it, every child will have an AGI that teaches them, raises them. Yeah. Absolutely. Ideally.
You want to, but
price,
we're in the process of getting rid of the Department of Education, which may
that's even
harder
better
for states.
Well, the price of intelligence is dropping significantly, so I doubt it.
But what is the form factor that a child would be able to have that in?
Yeah.
Like even if the price of intelligence drops, how will a child interact with that? And there may be
hairpiece.
But that's the point. Some children may only be able to access it through a screen in a phone.
Yeah.
So other children who are more well off in certain districts may be able to access it through glasses.
Yeah.
So they don't have to interface with the blue light coming out of a phone or something like that.
Yeah.
So I feel like there's still a reality where there's the haves and the have-nots and all of this abundance that you're talking about.
But why? And this is I mean, I would say the same thing, but like there is so much data. There's so much data, so much literature. I mean, I think Steven Pinker wrote most of it that describes how the world has gotten exponentially better from over the last century. Let's just call it the last century. The amount of people in poverty has dropped significantly. And you would think, oh no, there's a big divide. What do they say? What do they say all the time? The wealth gap between the ultra wealthy and the poor is growing.
Yes.
But the amount of resources and the amount of people in abject poverty has fallen off a cliff. So if there's this big divide and this big disparity, I mean, even if there is a big divide and big disparity, that's just the value of money or how much money someone has. But when we talk about the resources that people have more access to resources now than they did before.
People have more access
to resources
now.
Yes, 100%. A kid in Africa has better communications technology in their pocket than the president of the United States did in the 80s and the 90s. There's more access to resources now.
Why are you singling out African kids? Why is that the lowest on the totem pole?
Because when a lot of populations and abject poverty were in Africa for multiple reasons. Yeah. I mean, for multiple reasons, we can talk about colonialism, but for multiple reasons. But that's true.
Being facetious, but at the same time, a lot of people go straight to Africa when they talk about the wealth gap. You have an interesting take and view on the future in the next 15 years.
I mean, I genuinely, I think we're all going to have a co-pilot of this AI. I think biotechnology and medicine is going to get us to a point where we're extending our lifespan. I think the prices of goods and services are going to drop. I think everybody's going to have an education that far outpaces or far better than the type of education we have today. I think we'll be a spacefaring species. Yeah. I think we will easily be able to travel through space, and that's where a lot of people might actually get some of their jobs.
Yes.
There's a lot of different opportunities.
The mining of the moon rocks is going to be a job for the poor people.
Not just the mining of
can't afford to.
Absolutely, and it's not just spacefaring; it's also deep sea. We don't know what our oceans look like, and we have an opportunity to make materials that allow us to go deeper into the oceans and explore. So there's those opportunities. We have it's actually, I mean, it's almost infinite. What does the internet come into? We haven't even talked about the metaverse and those opportunities.
that's
Like it's so many different things that we can talk about.
Do you think that will be an interplanetary species by 2030?
It depends on what you mean by we.
Ooh,
I think
Americans? Or when you say we, are you referring to the globe or like a country?
What species do you mean?
Oh, well, Homo sapiens.
I mean, Ray Kurzweil describes AI as our children. I think when we talk about who's going to populate Mars first, I think we're going to send robots there to start building a colony so that when we get there, things are already set up. I think humanity and its tools will be a multi-planetary species. Humanity and its tools. I want to make sure that's asterisk. Humanity and its tools.
You talk about that quote is interesting that you just said, and I want to ask you a question on terminology. You just said that Ray Kurzweil says that AI are our children.
Mm.
Does it AI?
Yeah.
Artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
Is that the accurate label, or should it be called synthetic intelligence?
I think synthetic intelligence would probably be a better label.
Because it's a feedback loop of all of our knowledge that we have accumulated as a species over the past 200 some odd years that we've been recording. No, longer than 200.
Yeah, 100,
but
definitely longer. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I would say synthetic intelligence. It's an extension of our own intelligence.
Yeah.
And by the time you get to 2049 and we hit the singularity, one AI that costs $1,000 or less will have the flops or computation per second of the entire human race. And just imagine what that is going to do. And we're talking about AI. This is what's crazy. This is what blows my mind that people don't talk about. We're talking about the progress of AI, but no one,
No, I thought we were talking about the haves and haves not who's currently able to access AI, because I'm able to afford $100 Claude Max membership and other people. Gosh. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No one's talking about. No one. I mean, there's a few. There are a few of us in the deep crevices of the internet. No one's talking about the effects of quantum computing with AI.
Let's not talk about that. I'm not ready to have that conversation.
But we're talking about how quickly AI is coming, and no one's talking about how much faster it's going to even go once it hits quantum.
Quantum computers are the final boss. Quantum computers are the final boss.
But the crazy thing is that they're not.
They are.
They're not the final boss.
I'm convinced.
It's just another modality of computation or another modality of computing. But we're going to find a different modality.
After that.
Oh yeah, there is.
There's nothing after.
100%. We're not computing with dark matter or dark energy yet. Yeah, we've got some.
You don't. If you're computing on atoms.
Yeah.
You don't have to. Why are we trying? Why would we look to compute on invisible matter?
You can go smaller than atoms. Probably not. I don't know. It breaks the laws of physics.
Yeah,
how does that work? I don't know, but we've been crossing thresholds this long.
If you put intelligence on a quantum, I don't even want to talk about it. Let's save that for another conversation.
But I'm just saying, when you add AI plus quantum, that's a whole different realm that people don't even talk about. So we're freaking about AI. What are we gonna blow up Google's quantum labs? Oh no, that's Satan. Like we can't.
People aren't even ready to have that conversation.
We're not. And that's like, you can talk about timescales. That might be 20 years away.
Quantum.
Yeah.
Quantum supremacy.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe I'm highballing it. Maybe it's lower than that. I don't know. I have to look at the research and see what
I don't like that topic. Quantum scares me. I'm not gonna lie. Quantum scares me.
It's simulations, man. Simulations.
It's the output, the calculation speed.
Yeah.
Like you can't compete. Humans can't compete with that. Humans can kind of compete with AI now, but
we augment ourselves.
Even if you augment yourself, your biological brain capacity isn't on the same level as a quantum machine.
We can go into brain computer interfaces.
We can talk about that later, but I want to talk about the disparity between right now and 2025.
Yes.
Because you were talking about the cost of AI intelligence going down.
Yeah.
Right now, the people watching this show are probably paying $20 a month for something like Gemini, Claude, ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, there are those of us that are using tools and features like Claude Code.
Yeah.
Claude in the browser.
Yep.
I guess Claude Cowork will eventually get better, but we're paying $100 and $200 a month for access to higher rate limits, to do more work because we have the money to, whereas other people can't. There's still this discrepancy between the access of intelligence. And you think that, going back to our earlier conversation, that's going to dissolve
100%.
and everyone is just going to have access to the same models, the same capacity at the same cost.
Like, and this is what I'm trying to get us to also see. All of this is like a web. These models don't matter. These models are the foundation for what's going to come in the future. Claude, Gemini, Google, Grok, Perplexity, like foundation, cool. But what is the next $1 trillion, $1 billion entrepreneur going to build on top of one of the foundation models? What is he going to build that provides a service that piggybacks off this stuff that we didn't even know we needed? Like, to the point that you're making now, you pay $100, but once the next model comes out, everything you can do now by paying $100, somebody will be able to get by paying $20.
I'm just talking about currently where we are. There's this discrepancy.
But
still with intelligence.
Yes.
Where you still have to pay a premium to get access to be able to use tools in a different way than someone who may not be able to afford it.
But like, people can use ChatGPT for free.
Yes.
What level of ChatGPT can they use for free?
A basic level without reasoning.
Are they using ChatGPT 4.0 or 4.0?
No.
For free?
For free, the 5 model is. I believe the ChatGPT 5 model is available on the free plan.
Okay. How much was the 4.0 model?
Same, $20.
Probably 20, 100. But so I'm saying, as they build new models, the prices drop, demonetization. So now you get a powerful model that you can use for free, where before, maybe a year ago, it cost $100. So like I'm saying, there's a discrepancy. You can call it a discrepancy if you want. People are getting access to these powerful models maybe later than other people.
But they don't have the same opportunity to learn the capacity of those models in real time.
That's everything.
We're talking about the demonetization.
But we do know that it's going to demonetize. We know that the value of these tools are going to go down. It's only a matter of time. And based on what we've been saying, the time is just a year. Less than a year in some cases.
I just wanted to call that out. Like, we tend to, the government, the president, the administration, all these tech CEOs, except for the Anthropic CEO, tend to paint this rosy picture of AI is going to liberate us from the woes of today, and we're going to continue to get better, and yet companies are still being companies. Models are still behind a paywall, and they've become more expensive, not less expensive in the past 3 years.
More expensive?
Yeah.
But it doesn't follow the same trend. As we just talked about, you can get a model now for free that is superior to the most advanced model from early last year at the same time.
I understand your point, yes, but you have to wait a year. Meanwhile, people like myself are learning how to use like Google's anti-gravity, and learning how to use like Claude
for an entrepreneur, for somebody who's trying to build a company, for somebody who likes to play in this world on the S curve, you'd be listed as an early adopter, like hobby is cool. But like for the average everyday person, paying $200 for a model when you can use a different model that, maybe you can't get the same length. Maybe you don't have access to the same reasoning model, but you still have a damn good model. Than you would have had in 2020 or 2021 or 2022. And then even when we look at it, when I talk about AGI, for example, and we're talking about AGI and the amount of calculations you can do per second per $1,000. As we go past 2029, that price is going to drop. So by 2032, you'll be able to get an AGI instead of for $1,000, maybe $700. But we get the 2035, maybe it's $500. So like the price is going to continue to demonetize. And while you're at 2035 with a $500 AGI model, what kind of model could you use for free? Jesus Christ, it'll probably be a model we're not going to see until like 2028, or 2029. So these prices are demonetized. Like the prices are dropping for intelligence.
It's not. I think that's.
They're not dropping.
They're not dropping right now. They're getting more expensive. We didn't have Max tiers 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Now we have max tier for more compute at a higher cost.
I mean, you're not. How much today does it cost to use ChatGPT 4.0?
Free.
Exactly. The prices are going down.
With the limitation
Prices
of the
are
model.
prices are going down.
With a limitation, you can only send 20 messages to ChatGPT on the free plan.
Okay. But you still get that level. You still get that product for free. That's what I'm trying to say. Prices are dropping.
I understand the point. The availability of intelligence is available to all. I get that. But there's still a benefit for someone like me.
Yes.
To be able to have higher access.
But that's someone like you. Every entrepreneur has to do something different to stand out.
My point
does Kennedy care? No. She's still going to get the answers to her math homework, to her history homework with a free model.
The point is that intelligence has become, the access to a great level, a great service of intelligence has become more expensive. It can't, everyone doesn't have access to it. That's my point today. But while everyone is painting the sunshine and rainbows and we're all going to go and.
But the cost of intelligence is dropping year over year.
No, it became, okay, yes. If we're just looking at intelligence and we're not thinking about like usage and rate limit, stuff like that, yes, you're absolutely right. Yeah. Everyone has access to 5 for free.
Yeah.
So I understand that. It's still disturbing how companies are getting $150 a month for premium access to
the business model.
Business model, yeah. But that's the point that I'm trying to make as everyone is trying to paint that picture of AI. So is I feel like before we segment into that, we were talking about going into space. Is there a realistic time? Like, is there a realistic expectation that Americans will be a multi-planetary species with the help of artificial intelligence in the next 10 years?
In the next 10 years? Yes. Absolutely.
Humans will be an interplanetary species.
Yeah.
Meaning that we live on 2 separate planets.
Yes.
Full time.
Yes. Well, I don't know about full time. Like they made it elect to come back from Mars.
It takes 6 months to get there, right? 6 or 9 months to get there.
Something like that, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, so you're optimistic.
100%.
Why would we want to do that?
Because the U.S. now has competition in rocket technology. Like it no longer just belongs to the federal government. You got Blue Origin, you got SpaceX. I think there's another company that just started.
Virgin Galactic.
You got Virgin. Oh, do they? I don't know. Do they do rockets?
They were doing some type of rockets.
Okay, but you have competition, which means the price, and we also know that the price of these technologies are dropping.
Why as a species do we want to be interplanetary when birth rates are at an all-time low across the globe?
I mean, I don't understand. I don't understand what you mean. Why would we? Because birth rates are dropping. Why would we want to?
Yeah, I guess the dots that I'm connecting here is before we were talking about we want to be an interplanetary species because it opens up more resources as more human beings are born. We can split out all the resources, so we can have a group of population over on Mars, a group of population over on the Moon, a group of population on Earth that splits the resources. Yep. So like less people can be on one of the planets. Now we're living in a reality where women are opting to have careers as they should and not have families. Yeah. And we're seeing declines in birth rates, not just in the United States, but in some of the other developing nations as well. So why as a species is it still a great idea to be interplanetary, spread our resources out?
I think a lot of people are right. Neil deGrasse Tyson, Elon Musk, I think a lot of people are right. At the end of the day, humans are explorers. We've always explored. We always
Yes.
go where we haven't gone before. Space is exciting to us.
Yes.
Um, I mean, with every adventure, with every exploration, with every challenge humanity has, we end up developing new technologies that end up helping society evolve or advance. I don't think we have to worry about declining birth rates. Like, I think as people gain more time back from this intelligence explosion or AI, people are going to be able to spend more time at home. We talked about the 26-hour work week.
To make babies?
I mean, if you're at home, what happened when we were dealing with COVID and people were stuck at home?
This might be a perverted viewpoint, but sex has become a fun activity as opposed to a activity used for
procreation.
I
mean,
so
there's a couple. I mean, I do think that there is going to be the door is opening for people to have kids without having to go through sex.
Yes, that's true.
So like you can have same-sex couples have a child together. You can have a single person.
Oh, no.
You have a single person if he wants. Oh my God. Single person if he wants, he can use the Nakamoto factor to turn one of his stem cells to a sperm cell, one of his stem cells to an egg cell, and just fertilize them both. And you can have parents, or uni-parent. So like the options for a larger
incest.
No, it's not incest. Not by definition. It is strange. But it's not incest.
That seems like your kid gonna come out with one big eyeball.
I mean, if you're doing that, you might be able to modify some of their other genes so that there's variation.
Okay.
Yeah, you may be able to do that. You should be able to do that. Not might. You should be able to do that. But a larger population is able to now, or will be able to have children. Than what we were limited to before.
Okay, but still, all the while.
Yeah.
Why is it still aspirational?
It's exciting because we can.
Because we can.
Well, because we can. Why do we stick vacuum tubes on a plank in order to do calculations for us? Like we can. It's just what we do as humans. There's always a business opportunity somewhere. There's always an reason to explore something. So you can say, I was the first to do it, or write your name in history. Like, we're motivated by those type of things as a species. So why will we be spacefaring? Because Space Odyssey told us to. 2001 Space Odyssey told us to be spacefaring. Again, like, we love that movie. Or for my generation, Interstellar told us to, and we love that movie. We want to see the black hole. Want to go into the singularity with Cooper and Tars, or I forgot the robot's name. Not Tars, it was the other one. But yeah, because we can. So we dream of doing.
So you would sign up to find work on a spacecraft barreling towards Mars and go and decide to die on a red planet?
I 100% plan. You can have this on camera. I am 100% an ally of AI. Let's put that on the internet so they can go back and see that I said that. But I am 100% for, and probably will augment every aspect of me.
That you didn't answer my question.
I said that because you said, was I gonna elect to go to space and die? I probably won't have to eat by the time I go to space. Like I'll probably be somebody who's not really a hard decision.
That doesn't disturb your Christian morals and values?
What doesn't?
Just the augmentation.
I mean, you go to war, you get a limb blown off by IED, and then you have to get a prosthetic. If you're Christian, I don't think you're going to be like, don't give me that prosthetic. I'm just going to, oh, wait, I can't do that. But like, you're going to take the support and the help. Like you're looking at the why you're doing it. Like at this end of the day, it's the same thing. You're wearing glasses, Keenan. Yeah. You're wearing a smartwatch. Take it off.
Why would you want to be with?
Jesus is mad at you. Take off your glasses.
Why would you want immortality?
Because I think that life is exciting. There's so much about life we haven't explored yet. I have this strong feeling of FOMO. We haven't seen Dyson spheres. We haven't traveled to the end of our Milky Way galaxy. We haven't explored our own Like there's so much we haven't done, we haven't explored. I don't know what quantum looks like. I don't know what the edge of quantum computing looks like. We haven't created wormholes. Like I want to see all of that stuff. I want to be connected to a hive mind. What does that feel like? There's so many things we can still experience. And so I want to live long enough to experience it all. And by the end of the day, if my consciousness gets wrapped into nano cloud particles floating through space and I am them and they are me, then hey, it was a fun ride.
But what if me and Kennedy are dead?
Ziggy's dead and still alive. I mean,
No,
I get what you're
like,
I get what you're saying, but I mean, it was by choice
of not having your family, the stigma of everyone you know having died, and even if you meet new connections, they may die. Like, is that something
that's
you
like
think
a
about?
solo thing though? Like that's assuming that you don't also belong to a community that's also doing life extension. Like we always,
most people aren't. If you ask married people today, you ask both of them, hey, immortality is around the corner. Are you both going to take it? I've talked to 2 couples now where the guy was like, I think I'll take it. And the wife was like, no, I don't want that.
yeah, that's cool. They don't want it until it creeps up on them. They don't want it until they turn 150 and be like, what happens? I guarantee they won't commit seppuku. I guarantee they won't. They won't go into the bathroom and be like, it's been too long. Like I said, immortality isn't a magic pill. They're going to gain they're going to gain time every year.
But the point that I was making though is that there's this fear of living a life without your loved ones,
without the people you love.
Yeah.
I mean, where's the camera?
Is that one?
Oh, is this one?
Yeah.
Your mom or dad could get hit by a bus tomorrow. You'll have to live the rest of your 60 years without your parents. Is that any reason to say I'm going to stop living now because the people I really cared about and loved are not here?
But you have the opportunity to have kids.
Okay, you still have kids.
And hopefully they will survive you. But
yeah,
if you're immortal and they choose not to be immortal,
then they choose not to be immortal. I think right now we have this romantic idea of life because the movies told us that's how it needs to be. But I think society is going to evolve and change. And there are going to be people who are like, you know what? I am more than this skin suit that only has to live for 80 years and then I get I get to retire for 20 years and get a nice plot in the dirt. Like there are people who are going to be like, I don't want that. There are people going to be like, hey, we invented the gods. Now it's time that we take on that mantle. And
Homo Deus.
Yeah, Homo Deus. Yuval Harari. But yeah, like we're changing as a species. We're evolving. Right now, we are in a process of evolving. And once AI and once we build out this AGI and this ASI and biotechnology, our technology is going to allow us to evolve our own evolvability. So we'll be able to decide what we want to evolve into. And so the world is going to change so fast in the next 20 years, people aren't ready. They're just not ready. But I guarantee no one's going to say, I don't want this. This is too scary.
I think there will be some people. Probably. I think the Luddites exist. And I think there will be people that say, this is too much. It's happening too fast. We need regulation.
Can you beat part of this out? Just put a long beat. Just put a long beat.
Go ahead.
I think fucked. I do. I am not like, those are a group of people who they are not like right now is going downhill just for their policy. So like when you talk about a group of people who want to die, they're so stuck to, I want all this beat out. They're so stuck on tradition, like their traditional churches, temples, the way of life. They take 10 years to decide on one topic. Like, yeah, those are probably the people who like, I don't want to live a long time. But I think a lot of other people are like excited to live a very happy, very long, adventurous life.
Are you excited to live a long, adventurous, immortal life? I don't know if I can answer that.
There we go. I love that answer. That's it. That's self-aware.
But there not be, because although on paper, like that, you can go and explore how way more expansive as.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, come up here.
Okay. So I think it's a hard question to answer because we can look at sort of like a spec sheet. Yes, by being able to live longer, you're able to make more experiences. However, I think there's a really big emotional aspect. Our bodies, our minds, I don't know if like we have caught up to that kind of idea where we would be okay with that because throughout history, we've only lived up to like, well, I guess 300 years ago until very recently. Now we're able to live longer. But since then, being able to live like 120, 500, 800, that to me would like mess with the mind that we have today, is what I think.
Thank you, Master Brian. It's I understand. I get it. I hear that. I think that was a beautiful way to, before you told us who was fucked, I think it was a beautiful way to kind of narrate the possibilities of the future, living long enough and being able to recreate or determine what our path of evolution is going to look like. So with that, I think this was a good conversation. We'll have more definitely. We'll definitely are going to try and invite some guests on here so that we can talk to them about the future. You may be here, you may not be here. We'll see what happens.
Well, I will just circle back really quick because you started asking me a question. I want to ask you that same question in return. Let's go ahead and have me open and you close it. Okay. Are you proud to be an American? I am naturally a competitor, and I like to do hard things. I like to compete. I think that right now, I am proud to be an American solely for the fact that we are in it and we are competing today like it was 1969 and or before 1960s, yeah, and we were trying to make it to the moon. And I see that space race happening today, and the ability to live through a moment like that is exciting for me. And the ability to live in a country that's taking that call to action very seriously is something that gets me excited to be able to live in this country. So yes, to answer your question, as the competitor in me, I am very proud to be an American. I'm proud to be an American. So yeah. Cool. All right. That's it. Cut the camera. Cut the camera. Turn it off. Turn it off.